Hello there, my name is Dan and the main purpose of my channel is to show people how to grow their own fruits and vegetables no matter what size garden, allotment or growing space they do indeed have. So over the last few years I've been working on a partial self-sufficiency project here in Essex, UK, and I'd love to show you how to do the same. You can check me out on Dan_Home Gardens on Instagram, and please feel free to like and share, and if you'd like to be notified of any other videos I'm going to put up, please feel free to subscribe. So today I'm going to be making a video on what you can sow during the month of October. So this is a very interesting subject to cover. Now, as a rule, you want to make sure anything you sow at this time of year is hardy because we are coming into the colder months. So we're going to discuss a few things and I will show you what I'm hoping to sow. Now you can see quite a selection of seeds here. Now we're going to start with lettuce. So I've got two varieties here, the first being all the year round and the other being winter density. Another good lettuce to set at this time of year is purple sword Celtus. I had good results with that. So these are all fully hardy and they're very tasty as well. I have some lettuces planted out here. Winter density, all the year round. We'll discuss some root vegetables. So we have carrots, we have beetroot and turnips. Now these are great to sow at this time of year, particularly in a polytunnel or a greenhouse. And a good thing also is you can eat the tops of these, so even if the roots don't amount to much, you can still eat the tops, and I think it's very good to make use of all the vegetable if you can. Broad beans are great to sow at this time of year. They're fully hardy. Now you can either sow them in the open ground or you can plant them in pots, and what they tend to do is get about 4 to 6 inches above the ground, then the growth slows or stops when the days get shorter and the temperature drops, and they proceed to grow on the following spring when the temperature warms up. So that way you can get your crop a little bit earlier, and some people say if you do that you can avoid the black fly, but some people agree with that, some people don't. Different varieties you can grow. This is Aqua Dulce Claudia, okay. Now they're bigger plants, so a variety such as the Sutton can be quite good because they're more dwarf plants, okay. So if you're growing them outside where it could be a bit blowy exposed, you may do better off with smaller plants, more compact plants, so they don't damage in wind, rain, rough weather, etc. Well, we will discuss brassicas. So things like cabbage, kale, Brussels sprouts, purple sprouting broccoli, cauliflower, calabrese. You get the idea, there are lots of them. So you can sow these now, okay? And one good thing about them is even in the case of something like cauliflower, if you don't get your heads, or calabrese, which is often wrongly referred to as broccoli actually, even if you don't get your heads, what you can do is you can proceed to eat the leaves. So a very economical thing to grow, and stick them on your list as well, brassicas. Okay, now peas. Peas are brilliant. Now with regards to peas, you often think of peas themselves. Well, if you sow the plants at this time of year, you can eat the shoots. So they can be a nice thing to add. If you're into things like stir fries, something like that, they're a nice addition. Let's discuss radishes. So radishes are a great thing. They can be ready to eat in as little as 6 weeks, and you can eat the tops as well, so very good. So stick radishes on that list as well. Let's discuss leeks and spring onions. So I like to sow these in a pot of multi-purpose compost. So what you do is you get a pot and you fill it up to about 1 inch below the top with multi-purpose compost, scatter your seeds in, and then put a thin layer of multi-purpose compost on top and keep it watered. And then when they get to a decent size, you can plant them out into the open ground, and that gives them a nice little way of getting going a little bit easier. I like to grow a variety of chards, so we've got golden chard leaf beet, Ford hook giant chard, rhubarb chard Vulcan, and leaf beet chard or perpetual spinach. I have a collection of chards and lettuces here, so you can see some nice chard there, very ornamental, some more chard here, and some perpetual spinach here. Onions and garlic, you can sow these now. You can also add shallots to that for a nice early crop in midsummer next year. Now to that list you can also add two great things, okay, and that is land cress, which is really lovely, nice taste, really adds a zing to whatever you're eating, and the other one is lamb's lettuce, otherwise known as corn salad. I had some real success with these last winter. Okay, so you want to grow some of your own food, but you don't have an outside growing space. Well, what you can do is grow things like salad leaves and radishes on a windowsill in some pots. Get a nice long pot that fits perfectly on your windowsill, and then you can put your seeds in there and get some lovely food to eat throughout the winter. And another great thing you can do is grow things like chilies, okay? So if you plant your chili plants now, you should be getting some chilies by late spring, and you can just leave them inside. Of course, if you do have an outside growing space, you can then bring them out when the weather warms up next year. But certainly a worthwhile thing to do, grow chilies. These are some chili plants that I grew, variety Onaveg. Now, I've harvested the actual chilies from them, but you can see there's some flowers waiting to come out here. Now, these are self-fertile, okay, but what you can do when the flowers are out is just give the pots a little bit of a shake to help move the pollen around the flower. Now what I'm going to do is put these inside on a windowsill when the weather gets cooler, and I should proceed to get some chilies during the colder months. Now with regards to how I sow my seeds, what I like to do is grow them in cell trays, okay, and you can sort of got here, so this is lettuce winter density and this is all the year round. So what I simply do is fill them up with multi-purpose compost, which you can see I have down here, and then put another layer of multi-purpose compost on top, and then the seeds come up later on. So generally I've always got something ready to go into the open ground or to plant into the polytunnel in here. You can see here I've got some spinach here, and the extra warmth that this polytunnel provides helps them to grow a little bit quicker than if they were planted outside. I also have some things planted in some tubs here. So soil temperature is very important when it comes to germination. This is one reason why I like to germinate them in cell trays, pots, whatever, in a polytunnel or even a windowsill inside. But I'll show you something. You can see here that I'm utilising these polystyrene containers, and they help to insulate the plant's roots to help hold in the warmth a little bit better. Now you can see that coming into cropping, you can see I've got some little dwarf beans down there. These are variety Rondo, and more coming here. So anything I've said today, if you sowed them into a container such as this will help you during the winter months. It's a great time of year to plant strawberry plants. So these are variety Centenary, very strong plants. Let you see the root structure there, and the plants look very healthy as well. So if you plant them into some well-draining, fertile growing medium, that's very good, because what they can do is to help get some establishment going before next year, hopefully for better crops next year, as opposed to if you bought the plants in spring and then planting them and establishing them then. Well, this concludes today's video. So if you like my work, please feel free to like, share and subscribe. Any comments, questions or whatevers, please feel free to post them below, and you can check me out on Dan_Home_Gardens on Instagram if indeed you are interested. See you next time, and thank you for viewing.